Oh, hey folks, Paul here with you. It's a little later in the evening now, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to close out what I told you before, and I now have confirmation that the story that I told you was mostly true. There are some details that I need to correct because I was errant in telling you. First of all, the mainstream media does not know what to do with this story because first of all, the base that these jets were at is considered the creme de la creme in all of the Middle East. That is the number one air base or military base. And it's layered with defenses. So this is not good news for the United States or Israel or any of those Gulf countries. What they are saying is that they did destroy or manage to make economically impossible the repair of 40 of these F35. I forget the variant, but Israel makes their own variant. I can't remember the name of it. Regardless, I was erring in telling you that these were $1 billion each. They are not. They are $100 million each, meaning that this was a. Let me figure it out here. They are 100 million each. So 10 of them is $1 billion. So 4 billion has been wiped out. What they are saying, what Scott Ritter is saying, and I just watched the whole thing about 45 minutes. What he is saying is that it is the greatest, most impressive airstrike in the history of recorded airstrikes over hundreds of years. And the reason he says this is because these drones came from over 1,000 kilometers away, and they did massive damage, including some of the hangars were also devastated as well. I will kind of give you the whole wrap up on this. I know it'll take me a couple minutes, but it's worth it. The media isn't going to know what to do with this because how do you introduce the public to an ass-kicking like Israel got? They lost 60% of their F-35s. That's what they're saying. There's 60%. They have been moved away. Some of them were away anyway, but they've been moved and scattered about so that they don't take another hit of that magnitude. Now, here's what they're saying. The Iranians did something absolutely brilliant, and here's what they did. Virtually all of these missiles rely on GPS, which is it helps you get in to an area, or it tracks it by map and then it goes there. That's GPS. And they do have jammers. That's what they're saying. They do have jammers, but they don't always work, but sometimes they do work. But this system, the reason why it worked is because it uses a new technology. It's not really a new technology, but it's what they did, the adjustments they made. These missiles do not use GPS, or if they use it, they don't use it for long. Once they get near their target, they convert to cameras, not GPS. And there is a master imprint of the target of what that rocket sees. The computer sees the image of the warehouse or the tank or whatever it is, and then it actually looks down on the earth and it identifies where it is by camera, not by GPS. And once it's locked on, it tracks it and it goes right in. Also, there's a name for this bomb, and it's called the FAT. I would assume it's FAT, but it's spelled F-A-T-H, so you could say FAT. But the Houthis, they say Houthis. They don't say they say Houthis. So the FAT 160. I forget what the name of it is. It's the FAT 160, I believe, is what it's called. And it has interrupted at the end of the flight. You can't tell where it's going. And that is a real problem. What they're saying is that it was the biggest achievement. They said this could go right up there on the top shelf. They said that Israel did it at one time, something similar in the 1973 war or 67 war, but they had to take planes in. They wiped out Syria, Lebanon, and another one. Syria, Lebanon. They wiped all their air forces out. That was the closest thing to this, but they had to have jets that actually went in. They actually went in. Pardon me, excuse me. Sorry about that, folks. Anyways, Israel had to do it with planes actually entering the airspace. This was done standoff, which means no manned craft came in. So I'm not happy about this because I have to take a chance and I have to show you because I'm a God. And I'm not afraid of looking through these things and seeing what makes sense and then joining sides. Even though it's premature, you have to kind of really figure it out in your own head first. And that's what I'm good at it in some ways. So I suspected that this was true. But the thing is, if you suspect this is true, then you have to accuse our media of completely burying this because it didn't even show up. So I guess they're still trying to figure out how to tart this all out to let it out in little pieces. But this is something that is a crown jewel achievement with the amount of money that they used and the way they did it with the standoff weapons. Anyways, that FOF 160, that's going to be a problem. Using cameras instead of GPS to guide these missiles in. That's all I have to say. I'm upset because it would appear to me that Israel has the complete reins over our media, and they're not letting it in. They're not going to let it in. So take care, folks. I'm here. You can subscribe to this channel, and you're probably going to get the information before anyone else because I reported this very early today. Maybe it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe less than that. Just absolutely unbelievable. Subscribe, and you don't have to worship me as a god. I say that in jest, of course, but sometimes I'm the first to come up with things here. Not exactly the first, but among the first. Subscribe, you never know. Take care. Be good to have you here. Bye.